My brothers and sisters, come close, because today I'm about to unveil a truth so liberating, so empowering, it will transform the way you see the criticism you face, ignite your courage to embrace your divine purpose, and anchor you in the unshakable reality that your calling is greater than their judgment. Have you ever felt the sting of being misjudged, misunderstood, or misrepresented because of the path you're on? You're pursuing your purpose, walking in faith, living your truth, but instead of support, you're met with assumptions, accusations, or labels that don't fit. People question your motives, doubt your vision, or twist your actions, leaving you wondering, why don't they see me? Why do they get me wrong? Is my calling a mistake? Let me tell you something that will set your spirit ablaze. You're misjudged because of your calling, not because you're flawed, but because your purpose is divine. This is not rejection, it's confirmation. This is not failure, it's favor. This is not a burden, it's a badge of honor that the Creator has placed on you for a destiny that shakes the ordinary and glorifies His name. Picture this. You're walking a path of purpose, a road carved by the Creator Himself, paved with dreams that stir your soul, gifts that flow through your hands, and a calling that burns in your heart. You've embraced your divine assignment, the vision to create, the mission to serve, the passion to transform. You're stepping out boldly, sharing your ideas, living your faith, expecting understanding, hoping for encouragement, craving alignment. But instead, you're misjudged. People misinterpret your confidence as arrogance, your passion as obsession, your focus as aloofness. They label you too much, too different, too driven. They whisper about your motives, question your methods, doubt your heart. Their words cut, their assumptions wound, their misunderstandings isolate. It feels like you're speaking a language they can't hear, walking a path they can't see, chasing a vision they can't grasp. And in that pain, doubt creeps in. Am I wrong? Do I belong? Should I change to fit their view? But my friend, let me stop you right there. You're not wrong, you're chosen. You're not out of place, you're appointed. You're not misjudged because you're lacking, you're misjudged because your calling is divine. When you're misjudged because of your calling, it's a sign the Creator has marked you for a purpose that challenges hearts, disrupts norms, and demands attention. Let me paint a vivid scene for you. Imagine a visionary, a soul with a gift to see beyond the horizon. They weren't the most popular, the most conventional, or the most understood. They didn't have the world's applause, the system's approval, or the crowd's agreement. But they had something sacred, a calling that carried divine weight, a vision that pierced the ordinary, a purpose that shifted the future. They poured their heart into their work, innovating, leading, serving. They shared their dreams, hoping for partnership, craving acceptance, seeking a shared cause. But instead, they were misjudged. You're unrealistic, some said. You're out of touch, others scoffed. You're trying too hard, a few sneered, twisting their intentions. The visionary could have toned down their dreams. They could have let the misjudgments silence their voice. They could have let the misunderstandings redefine their purpose. But they didn't. They kept dreaming. They kept creating. They kept shining. They faced the sting of misjudgment with resilience, the pain of misunderstanding with faith, the weight of criticism with courage. They didn't conform to the crowd's assumptions. They clung to the Creator's assignment. They didn't shrink to fit their labels. They stood tall in their calling. And in that steadfastness, something extraordinary happened. Their vision began to take shape. Their work began to impact. Their purpose began to resonate. Those who misjudged them began to see. Those who doubted them began to believe. Those who criticized them began to follow, not because the visionary changed, but because their calling was undeniable. The world saw what the Creator had placed in them: a leader, a pioneer, a light that could not be dimmed. They were misjudged because of their calling, not because they were wrong, but because their purpose was divine. Why? Because the Creator had chosen them for a destiny that challenged minds, transformed lives, and glorified His name. Now, let me ask you something real. Have you ever been misjudged for pursuing your purpose? Have people misunderstood your heart, questioned your motives, or labeled your actions because of the path you're on? Maybe you've shared your vision only to be called unrealistic. Maybe you've stepped out in faith only to be labeled proud. Maybe you've lived your truth only to be seen as strange. The criticism hurts, the assumptions sting, the misunderstandings tempt you to question your calling, to wonder if you're too different, to doubt if your purpose is worth it. But let me tell you something that will set you free. You're misjudged because of your calling, not because you're flawed, but because your purpose is too big for their boxes, too bold for their comfort, too divine for their understanding. Your calling is not a mistake, it's a mandate. The Creator is using the misjudgments to confirm your uniqueness, to refine your resilience, to prepare you for a destiny that transcends their opinions. Why are you misjudged? Because of your calling. Let me give you 3 powerful truths to hold on to, because these will empower you to stand firm in the face of criticism, embrace your divine purpose, and shine boldly despite the misunderstandings. First, your calling threatens their comfort. Your purpose is a divine disruption. It challenges the status quo, questions the ordinary, demands change. When you walk in your calling, your boldness exposes their complacency. Your vision highlights their limitations. Your faith confronts their fears. They misjudge you, not because you're wrong, but because your calling makes them uncomfortable. They label you to keep you small, to fit you into their norms, to ease their unease. But your job is not to conform to their comfort, it's to carry out your calling. The Creator has chosen you to disrupt, not to appease, to transform, not to blend in. Your calling is misjudged because it's a threat to their stagnation, and that threat is your power. Second, your calling reveals their insecurities. Your confidence in your purpose, your clarity in your vision, your commitment to your path shines a light on what others may lack: direction, courage, faith. When you live your calling, you become a mirror reflecting their doubts, their hesitations, their unfulfilled dreams. They misjudge you not because you're flawed, but because your light exposes their shadows. They criticize your motives to mask their fears, question your actions to hide their inaction, label your passion to justify their passivity. But your role is not to dim your calling to ease their insecurities. It's to shine it to inspire their growth. The Creator has chosen you to lead, not to linger, to rise, not to retreat. Your calling is misjudged because it reveals their potential, and that revelation is your purpose. Third, your calling carries divine authority. When the Creator calls you, He anoints you with His power, His purpose, His presence. Your words have weight, your actions have impact, your life has influence. People sense this authority, and it challenges those who crave control, humbles those who lack submission, intimidates those who seek validation. They misjudge you not because you're wrong, but because your calling reflects a power they can't comprehend, a divine mandate they can't contain. But your mission is not to shrink your authority to make them comfortable, it's to wield it to glorify the Creator. The Creator has chosen you to shine with His glory, not to hide in their shadows. Your calling is misjudged because it's a reflection of His power, and that power is your anointing. But let's be honest, being misjudged isn't easy. It's not comfortable. It's not fair. There are moments when the criticism feels personal, when the assumptions feel heavy, when the misunderstandings feel isolating. You might feel hurt, wondering why people can't see your heart. You might feel tempted to explain yourself, to change to fit their view, to soften your purpose to avoid their judgment. You might feel alone, longing for someone to understand your calling, to affirm your path, to see your truth. I hear you. I feel you. The struggle is real. But let me remind you of something. The struggle is also sacred. The misjudgments are also confirmation. The criticism is also evidence. Think about a diamond in the rough. It's buried in dirt, overlooked by many, misjudged as just another rock. But when it's uncovered, cut and polished, its brilliance silences the doubters, its value humbles the skeptics, its light captivates the world. That's you right now. The Creator is using the misjudgments to polish your purpose, to refine your resilience, to reveal your radiance. Your calling is misjudged, not because it's worthless, but because it's priceless. Let me share a story to make this truth come alive. There was a healer, a soul with a gift to restore broken spirits. They didn't have the world's fame, the system's favor, or the crowd's spotlight. But they had a calling, a compassion that mended, a wisdom that uplifted, a heart that served. They poured their soul into their work, helping, guiding, loving. They shared their gift, hoping for connection, craving understanding, seeking a shared mission. But instead, they were misjudged. You're too soft, some said. You're naive, others scoffed. You're wasting your time, a few sneered, questioning their heart. The healer could have closed their heart. They could have let the misjudgments silence their gift. They could have let the misunderstandings redefine their purpose. But they didn't. They kept healing. They kept loving. They kept shining. They faced the sting of criticism with grace, the pain of misunderstanding with faith, the weight of misjudgment with resilience. They didn't conform to the crowd's labels, they clung to the Creator's calling. They didn't shrink to fit their assumptions, they stood tall in their purpose. And in that steadfastness, something remarkable happened. Their compassion began to heal, their wisdom began to restore, their purpose began to transform. Those who misjudged them began to feel their impact. Those who doubted them began to seek their help. Those who criticized them began to value their gift, not because the healer changed, but because their calling was undeniable. The world saw what the Creator had placed in them, a healer, a restorer, a light that could not be dimmed. They were misjudged because of their calling, not because they were wrong, but because their purpose was divine. Why? Because the Creator had chosen them for a destiny that mended hearts, shifted lives, and glorified His name. So how do you stand firm when you're misjudged because of your calling? How do you shine boldly in the face of criticism, walk confidently in the face of misunderstanding, live purposefully in the face of assumptions? Let me give you 5 practical steps, because a calling without action is just a dream, and a purpose without strategy is just a wish. First, embrace your calling. Don't apologize for your passion. Don't hide your vision. Don't question your purpose. See your calling for what it is: a divine mandate, a sacred assignment, a heavenly gift. Lean into it. Trust that the Creator has chosen you for a reason. Ask yourself, how can I honor my calling? How can I use it to glorify the Creator? Your calling is not your burden, it's your blessing. Second, release their opinions. Misjudgments are not your truth, they're their perspective. Criticisms are not your identity, they're their insecurity. Assumptions are not your reality, they're their limitation. Let go of the need to explain yourself, to convince them, to fit their view. Their opinions don't define your purpose, the Creator's calling does. Focus on living your truth, not proving their error. Release their words and you'll reclaim your peace. Third, protect your heart. Misjudgments can wound, criticisms can drain, misunderstandings can isolate. Guard your spirit with prayer, your mind with truth, your heart with faith. Set boundaries with those who misjudge you, limit access to those who criticize you, release expectations of those who misunderstand you. Surround yourself with people who see your calling, who honor your purpose, who amplify your light. Your heart is your strength, and your calling thrives when it's protected. Guard it, and you'll shine brighter. Fourth, live your calling with excellence. The best response to misjudgment is not defense, it's demonstration. Don't argue with their assumptions, prove them wrong with your actions. Don't fight their criticisms, silence them with your success. Don't explain your purpose, express it with your life. Let your work speak, your faith shine, your purpose rise. Live with such excellence that their misjudgments become irrelevant, their criticisms become insignificant, their assumptions become obsolete. The Creator has called you to shine, not to shrink. Live it, and you'll change their view. Fifth, trust the Creator's vindication. When the misjudgments feel heavy, when the criticisms feel unfair, when the misunderstandings feel endless, trust that the Creator sees you, knows you, and is working for you. He's using the misjudgments to refine you, the criticisms to strengthen you, the assumptions to position you. Your calling is His plan, your purpose is His promise, your vindication is His power. Trust that He's preparing the right people to see you, the right moments to unveil you, the right impact to glorify Him. Your misjudgments are temporary, but your calling is eternal. Trust Him and you'll rise above. Let me share one more story to seal this truth in your heart. There was a leader, a soul with a vision to transform communities. They didn't have the world's wealth, the system's favor, or the crowd's spotlight. But they had a calling, a heart that united, a mind that inspired, a spirit that persevered. They poured their energy into their work, building, serving, leading. They shared their vision, hoping for support, craving alignment, seeking a shared purpose. But instead, they were misjudged. You're too ambitious, some said. You're unrealistic, others scoffed. You're not one of us, a few sneered, questioning their heart. The leader could have dulled their vision. They could have let the misjudgments silence their voice. They could have let the misunderstandings redefine their purpose. But they didn't. They kept leading. They kept building. They kept shining. They faced the sting of criticism with resilience, the pain of misunderstanding with faith, the weight of misjudgment with courage. They didn't conform to the crowd's labels, they clung to the Creator's calling. They didn't shrink to fit their assumptions, they stood tall in their purpose. And in that steadfastness, something extraordinary happened. Their vision began to unite, their work began to transform, their purpose began to inspire. Those who misjudged them began to see their heart. Those who doubted them began to join their cause. Those who criticized them began to follow their lead, not because the leader changed, but because their calling was undeniable. The world saw what the Creator had placed in them, a leader, a transformer, a light that could not be dimmed. They were misjudged because of their calling, not because they were wrong, but because their purpose was divine. Why? Because the Creator had chosen them for a destiny that changed lives, shifted systems, and glorified His name. As I close, let me leave you with this. You're misjudged because of your calling, not because you're flawed, but because your purpose is divine, your vision is vast, your destiny is eternal. The criticisms are not your chains, they're your confirmation. The misunderstandings are not your limits, they're your launch pad. The assumptions are not your truth, they're your testimony. You are not too much, you are divinely chosen. You are not out of place, you are perfectly called. You are not alone, you are powerfully anointed. The Creator sees you, knows you, loves you, and He's using the misjudgments to refine your purpose, to strengthen your faith, to prepare your impact. Your criticisms are temporary, but your calling is forever. Your misunderstandings are fleeting, but your purpose is fixed. So stand tall today. Lift your chin. Square your shoulders. Embrace the calling that stirs misjudgments. Shine it with courage. Live it with excellence. Trust it with faith. Keep dreaming in the criticism. Keep rising in the misunderstanding. Keep shining in the assumptions. The Creator is preparing you, positioning you, vindicating you for a destiny that will transform the world. Your moment is coming. Your impact is near. Your purpose is ready. When the Creator unveils you, the world will see what He's seen all along, a masterpiece, a movement, a light that shines brighter because it was misjudged. Go forth, my friend. Trust your calling. Embrace your purpose. Live your destiny. The stage is yours and the Creator is writing your triumph.